Good morning. I am Reverend Sharon Renee. I am spiritual leader to Tyler Unity Center here in Tyler, Texas. And as always, I want to thank you for joining us in the virtual world where you can relax and sit back and watch this as often as you desire to do that. And let us get started with acknowledging the Christ light. And Unity does that by representing of the candle. And the candle represents the Christ light within all of us, the divine spark, the voice of our intuition, our inner compass, the guide that leads us forward to peace, love, joy, happiness, and abundance. Just like to give you that little reminder. And today's daily word is now. I find my power in this very moment. There is power in this very moment. Yesterday is past and tomorrow is not yet here. There is only this moment, ripe with promise and potential, ready for me to live into it fully. Through my many divine gifts, everything I need to get started is within me. I need not wait for the perfect moment to arrive because there is no time more perfect than now and no place more perfect than here. Procrastination has no place in my life. I fritter away my energy when I find reasons not to get started, losing my zeal and focus and inviting frustration into my life. Today, I claim the power of the present and say, this is the day I begin. Now is the time to begin, to serve, to forgive, to create, and to love. See, now is the acceptable time. See, now is the day of salvation. 2 Corinthians 6:2. Quite powerful, isn't it? So let's be right here, right now. All right. And our statements are, our vision statement is, centered in God, we celebrate a world empowered by peace, love, and oneness. Our mission statement, we are a vibrant spiritual community reaching inward for guidance, outward in love, education, and sacred service. Our core values, love, service, spirit-led, inspiration, acceptance, and spiritual unfoldment. Now let's get ourselves centered for the meditation. So either watch the video or just close your eyes and just follow my voice. All right? But first, let's start by just taking a really deep breath in and letting it go. And as you expand on the exhale, really let your body just relax and all the muscles relax. Now breathe in love. And exhale fear. And let's breathe in love again. And exhale love. Let's breathe in peace. Exhale the chaos. Breathe in peace again. Let it intertwine with the energy of love. And breathe out love and peace. Now let's breathe in light. And exhale darkness and shadow and fear. And let's breathe in light again. And let it intertwine with love and peace. And let's breathe out the loving peace of illumination. Now allow yourself to focus on that inner light within, the Christ light, and see it as a candle burning bright. And understand that that light can never be extinguished. And it always exists within you to guide the way, to be your compass. It is the light of the intuition. It is the voice of the divine creator. It is the guidance. And it delivers unto you the solution of every problem. Now just take a moment and sit in the silence and allow yourself to contemplate the divinity of who you are. I am the perfect child of God. I am the creator of my life. I am the instrument of peace and joy. And prosperity flows through me and everything I do. And I give with joy. All my needs are fulfilled. I live in a state of gratitude. I live upholding my birthright to be the light of Christ. Take a deep breath in. Breathe in that light. Exhale it. And so it is. Amen and amen.
Just starting to bloom, and the sky came down under lock and key, too afraid to make a sound. All I wanna do is run, but my feet are confined by a heart left undone and a spirit undermined.
right, so today's topic is on the ego. And I think that this is really, really important. And I could really kind of talk about this all day because to me it goes with that soul geek stuff and that things that I love. But here's the thing about ego is that we have a tendency to knock it around. We have a tendency to think that it's bad and to have it is not a good thing. And we work to like cast it aside and throw it away. Well, we really can't do that because our ego is that individual expression of who we are. Because without the ego, we wouldn't have that separation from divine source. And when I talk about separation, I'm talking about the ability to work as an individual. Because if we did not have that inner I, we would would all be one. And therefore, there would be no experiences taking place. There would be no physical embodiment. There would be no adventures. We just would be, if you're a Star Trek fan, you've heard me say it before, we would be the Borg. We're one. We're one with the Borg. You shall be assimilated. But we were given this wonderful thing with our free will, this wonderful gift. And it is the gift of the ego. The gift to have and be that individual expression of God. Now, the ego does not disconnect us from who we are and that divine source. But what it does is it allows us room for our own growth and our own expansion. And what we have to do is we have to learn how to utilize the ego in its highest and best way. But first, let's talk about the things that the ego does. The ego is fearful. The ego is resistant to change. The ego holds on to the memory of pain. The ego holds on to all of your stories. If you believe in past life or if it's just this life, it holds on to all of those stories and it remembers every single thing that's ever happened. So therefore, if you're surviving in the moment, and I didn't say thriving, if you're surviving in the moment, the ego is like, listen, we don't need to push the status quo. Everything is good. It's okay. We don't need to push that. All right? And the ego is what will cause when somebody says something to us that we don't like or that hurts our feelings. It puts us on that defensive. Well, oh yeah, I don't like your hair. Okay? I mean, we react this way, and that's from what we're going to call the ego with the little I, maybe, or we can call it our immature ego. And it's the part that has not grown, and it's the part that very much is into the emotions. And our emotions mean something to us, right? And because that's how we gauge things and that's how we feel. And I know that for me, I can wallow in my ego, and sometimes I really need to in that lower energy in order to I need to feel it so that I know what to do with it to move forward. All right? So we have the ego that runs amok. All right? And we're real familiar with that ego because that's the one that most of us use. Okay? We're not coming from the other part of the ego. All right? Now, it's not that we have two separate egos, right? It's that we have them living together. And so the other part is the ego that is coming from our higher self. That part of the ego that's connected to our intuition, that's connected to our Christ light, that's connected to the divine source, that's pushing us into a new direction or pushing us into situations that maybe we don't really like, but in order to handle them better. But it's into that growth situation. But what happens is that this is trying to move forward and this other one gets all over it and gets all in its business, okay? And just like other people with their ego get all in your business. I mean, I have it happen to me because other people's ego and the fear that they have try to stop me from doing whatever it is that I feel like I should be doing, could be doing, guided to be doing, because that's coming from their own inner perception. We all have that, and it's okay. But what we have to do is we have to, at some point, step back and say, is this who I want to be? Is this the space that which I want to come from? Is this a space that I want to react from? Or would I rather be like someone else that I admire? Would I rather stand in compassion? Would I rather stand in humility? Would I rather stand in grace? Would I rather be like Mother Teresa or the Dalai Lama or Jesus or Buddha? Or would I rather kind of just be like the idiot on the street corner, which is me when I'm acting badly, right? So it's that, do you want to be how you're being when you're being that ego self of you? Or would you rather master that process? Now, so to me, the balanced ego, when we are in balance with our higher self, is we're in alignment with our divinity. And that's where we all are trying to get to, but we don't necessarily react from. And right now, what's going on in the world, it's not coming from this place. It's coming from down in here. Okay, we're all reacting. We're all caught up in the swamp and the hurricane and the garbage, and we're picking through it, and it's we're not coming from a higher space. And anyone that judges you and says you're coming from a lower vibration, just so that you feel better, if they're coming from a higher vibration, they wouldn't be telling you that you have a lower vibration. Okay? We know when we're reacting out of a lower vibration. We know for ourselves when we're reacting out of defensiveness. We know from ourselves when we're reacting out of pain. All right? So if anybody's telling you that, these other people are acting from a lower vibration, or you're acting from a lower vibration, I'm going to hold you up in the light, they're not coming from that space either. All right? It's just they're using those words in order to justify their behavior. Been there, done that many a time. Okay? All right, but so when we are acting that way, I like to use ego as an acronym, excluding God's oneness. When we are acting badly or reacting quickly, and it's defensively or it's aggressively, or if it's not in the best interest of us or whoever we are dealing with, we are out of alignment of our divinity. Now, that other part of our ego is very connected to our higher self, and is just sitting there waiting. Wake up, Sharon, I'm right here. I'm right here, wake up. I'm here, hello, let me wave a flag, come pay attention. When we work to connect with that level and we work on that level, we can find that balance. And we can live in that state of fluidity. We can live in that state of grace. We can live in that state of change. We can live in that state of conflict, okay? And conflict comes because that part of our ego that's wanting to keep things in the way that they work for us is fighting with the other part of our ego that wants us to step into the next adventure, to step into that growth, to step into that place to become more. And so that conflict isn't a battle of how we think it is. What it is that it is that push for growth. All right? But who you are is great. And even when your ego is being childish, is in that lower self, it's okay. We feel what we feel, but we need to be mindful of what we're feeling. And sometimes we need to do that self-check-in. And sometimes it's over and over again because we know that we're not reacting right, but we're still reacting wrong from our own perspective. And it's reaching up and it's reaching to attaining that other part of the ego. But this is the divine part of us. This is the Christ-like. This is that consciousness that can move us forward. And ask yourself this question when you've reacted to a situation: is this who I want to be? Is this really who I want to be? Do I want to be compared to this person? Do I want to be a victim? Do I want to appear needy? Is this who I want to be? And if the answer is no, then what is it that I want to be? And react and allow that information to come in and react from that space. And we can train the lower energy, the child tantrums, to not necessarily react, but to take a deep breath and breathe. And there are some cases where it's just better to not react until the timing is better, so that we can come at it from a more authentic, truthful loving space, okay? Because when we come through it from a hurtful space, or we're upset, or a defensive space, it's all about us. It's not necessarily about what the other person did. It's all about us, but we're making it about them because of how we feel about it. And usually if we react from that way, we're going to tell them what all they did to us in order to justify and defend our position. So take that moment, take that time, take that breath, and say, is this who I want to be? So your ego is a wonderful gift. It gives us the expression to grow, to move forward, to live, to love, to express individually, but we're all connected as one. But draw on that energy from the higher self and not the child that's throwing the tantrum. Okay. So here is to your living your divinity through the ego of your higher self. Woo, yay. Woo, woo. All right. So have a beautiful day and pay attention and say, am I excluding God's oneness in this reaction?
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful.